Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 13th of January, and thanks to my lovely Irish friend Dave for providing not one title but three. He's very generous that way. And the titles were Accept, Endure, and Focus. He wins not just 1 hour of my time, but a call with me, but three and more. I'm more than happy to do this. And of course, between an Irish and Scots individuals, we could talk for hours. So I'm looking forward to that, and we can arrange a time when it's convenient. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about accept, endure and focus, but I decided actually to fit into the kind of post it on Facebook that to use the one of the words, and that was endure. But partly because if you endure, if you manage to endure, you're someone who accepts situations, you have resilience, and you focus on getting through situations with positivity. So it falls in line with one of my books as well, my Resilience and Courage, The Key to Endurance. And thank you for coming on board, people, and listening. Creativity builds resilience. And at this time, I think Danielle doesn't know about it, but the Changing Seasons of Life book has been published and it's ready. It's a limited stock at the moment, but it's got poems by the lovely Danielle Stacey McGregor, and it's also got a couple of poems from my son as well. It's very creative because my stories certainly are really abstract, and it's pushing you to the limits of using your creative juices. And all the stories are based on personal experiences, my life experiences, but you'll have to kind of guess what they're all about. Some I've changed into some are animals, and there's a piglet, and there's other things. Anyway, there's pages as well, blank pages, where you can use this for your own creative journal. So that's what we're talking about it. And of course, I think the real thing about it is creativity builds resilience. And when you have resilience, you're not aware just of yourself, but those around you and your situations. Don't let the negative thoughts hold you back. Now, this time round in the lockdown seems to be far more difficult for people. I mean, I think last time we were all excited almost. Oh, we're in lockdown and not having to go to school, not having to go to work. And loads of people were finding different things to do. This time, people are even more overwhelmed. I'm getting messages from people saying they're anxious, they're depressed, they're stressed, they're overwhelmed. And I think it's not just the news about the pandemic, but you'd think with the news of the vaccine, people would be getting excited and there's hope there. But again, there's always confusion raised because we've now not got one vaccine, there's two types and three, I think it is. So again, people do get into that overwhelming of which one, I wonder what one I'll get. Should I get the vaccine, should I not? Now, I know that we need to think about ourselves and the health of ourselves and others. So there's so many things going on and the events unfolding around the world. I mean, we've got America, we've got so many things. And we really need to take a moment to breathe and affirm. The mind is extremely powerful, and there's power in group think. So I think we should take a moment just now and we just breathe as a group, people listening, and I hope when you even look back on this video, when you're looking at it again, just to take a moment to breathe in through the nose. And remember, when you're breathing in through the nose, the effect of breathing is you're pushing out your diaphragm, your tummy. So it's, now I'm not moving my shoulders at all, and you hold, and you can do that to the count of 3 and then slowly exhale. So I think we should do that just now. Just breathe in, hold, and then exhale. And we affirm together as a group, my hope is for health and peace across the world. So that kind of affirmation as a group, the power of the group mind is really just so, it's so wonderful. So if you need to do a personal affirmation as well. Of course, I think it's good to take a breathing in through your nose again and out. And just a personal affirmation for today might be, I am resilient. I am positive. Now, I don't know how many people are using my ABC, but really, if you feel down and you're getting into kind of a slumped kind of mood, just I am positive and raise your back and straighten it, and you will immediately feel better, no matter what is going through or going on around you. So please do that. Now, when you're resilient, you have a steely determination. You jump over these fences in your mind. You push through the barriers, the bushes, push through the bushes. You dig tunnels under the walls when things don't go as planned. You have determination to overcome adversity. You've got commitment, control, and courage. So that's why it's important to have resilience. Now, what do you need to do to build resilience? And, I've said it before, and I feel sometimes like this is a broken record, but all these things are really important. To be able to accept what is going on around you, and how do you focus on the positive and manage to endure what life is throwing at you? So these are some of the tips. And I'm getting an itchy nose. I hope that doesn't mean I'm going to be angry. What's the old wives' tale? An itchy nose, you're going to be angry with someone. I'll just be angry with myself, and then I'll do my ABC and I'll feel better. Probably angry with the hair, I think, getting in my eyes. Anyway, the tips are well, thanks, Dave. Sorry, Dave's come on board. I hope you heard my lovely Irish friend with the title for today. It's true, the breathing exercise. You can do it anywhere and at any time, in the supermarket, at the traffic lights, in just any minute of any day. So the tips are, you need to control your stress. Now, this is where you can do this by exercising your mind and the body. Of course, physical exercise is good. You don't need to be doing these marathons and 26k miles and pushing yourself to the limits, and lots of people couldn't do that. So you need the exercises of the mind, of course. You can just take a short walk out in nature, and of course get enough sleep as well, and eat as well as you can. I mean, think of the poor people really who just don't have enough money to have this balanced diet and nutrition. But if you can manage at all, you need to eat sensibly. And that can be a difficult one for me. I was given lots of chocolates for Christmas, and I'm a bit of a chocolate fiend. So I've got to be careful. So it's one little square at a time, and that really pushes my willpower. But I'm managing it. So just try and balance everything. When you feel better in mind and body, you're able to control your stress, and you'll find it easier to overcome challenges. Now, the next tip is think positively. Try and ditch this word, oh, I can't, and oh, I'm feeling down. And, when I'm speaking to people and they're telling me, oh, it's been such a bad day, and it's, I can feel myself going down as well. So you have to turn it around and stop. Don't focus on the negatives. Get rid of the negative people in your life, or limit this. I know if you're living with somebody who's negative, it can be difficult. But I've talked often before, take yourself off to the little room, the little bathroom, just sit down and just take a moment to yourself to do the breathing and just relax. And I am positive. Send this negativity off I put it into a little balloon and just send it off into the air, an imaginary balloon, because actually real balloons are not good for the environment. We all make mistakes. But with resilience, what you do is you learn from your mistakes. And of course, setting realistic goals is another one. You can focus on your values. What's your worth? Remember, I've talked about this before, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and view them like a balance sheet of your personal character. So by focusing on your strengths, you build confidence. And it is very difficult at this time to lose confidence in yourself and just be worried about, why am I feeling this way? But it's natural. And particularly if you've gone through traumatic times, it's natural to feel down and feel low. And it's just recently over Christmas, I know people have lost friends. A good friend lost her husband quite suddenly, and they haven't been able to be together. And I know all these things, when you're not able to be with your loved one or say your goodbyes together, it's a very difficult time. And I just think of all these things in my mind and think about what it would be like to have them with me. Find the strength and courage is another one to keep going. And we'll be talking about strength and courage. And thank you to Debbie. Somebody, she sent me a lovely, another friend has sent me the word for Friday, strength. So we'll be all about talking about strength maybe on Friday. And of course, never give up. Successful people do not think of failures as if something doesn't work, they tell themselves, well, I just need to think again. Look at the things from a different perspective and keep going until a positive solution is found. Now that's where walking in nature or looking at nature, you really get a different perspective on things. And actually, one of the things that I love is seeing, and I think David's one who actually posts up beautiful scenes of nature. Lots of people they're putting up sunrises, sunsets, the colours. Just think of these things and, you get a different perspective. Remember last year I talked about Thomas Edison, the inventor of the phonograph, the telegraph and motion pictures. Well, he went through, I think, 10,000 different ways. Now, each way he went, he didn't say, oh, well, that's a failure and gave up. He did not give up. He made many prototypes, but he kept going until he got it right. And he just said each of these times was a test for the next time. So he never gave up. Now, to find out what kind of person you are, there's a wee question for you, or a couple of questions. Do you let failures stop you from moving forward, going on, fulfilling your dreams? Now, don't worry if that was the old you. You can use these tips to develop resilience. Don't worry if you're thinking this way. You can change. You must change. You can start to view difficulties as challenges, view difficulties and challenges as opportunities to learn. And when you do this, you learn lessons from the challenges. And of course, and I know more than anybody, that if you don't learn from a challenge, another one will come along and hit you and think, right, I've something to learn here. And of course, from your greatest challenges come your greatest strengths. Now you can focus on the positives and how to get through these difficult times. And how do you do this? How do you focus on the positives? Well, I'm going back again, the broken record, going back to your inspiration board or your achievement board. We're very slow, really. I think we're taught maybe that it's being boastful to encourage and praise ourselves. But why wait for someone else to encourage you and praise you? Do it for yourself. Look at that board. If you haven't got one, please start one. I started mine many years ago, and I add to it or look at what I've achieved. And at a very difficult time, I actually had to sell my beautiful grand piano, and that was really painful, but it was a necessity at the time. And that on my inspiration board was piano. I really needed a piano because I love music and I like playing for myself. And it was many years past, but actually I got a lovely surprise from a dear friend who was moving house. She was an elderly person going into a care home and couldn't take her piano. So she phoned me and she said, I want to give you my piano, but it's on the proviso that when she's leaving it to me, but when I pass away, that's to be gifted to the Royal Conservatoire for a deserving student. And of course, I've written a letter about that. So your dreams can come. Never, ever give up. Just focus on things that are on your board and kind of let go of the worries around all of that. And you'll be quite surprised. There's no kind of scientific proof on this, but times when I worry about things, whether it is I wonder if I will have work, I wonder if I will things, kind of let it go. It can be difficult because you can get yourself into such a state that you really don't know what's going to happen the next day. But let that go and you'll be surprised at what comes round, In fact, over Christmas, I got a call to see would I take on some work for marking, which I hadn't expected, which was wonderful. So in fact, really wonderful things happen. You also have to commit yourself to your life and what you want to achieve. And this is what your inspiration and achievement board can do. Look at it often and affirm to yourself, I have achieved this. I have, just whatever, you're boosting yourself up, and it's not being selfish to do this. Resilient people are committed to their life, their work, their relationships, the causes that interest them, and their beliefs. Not the beliefs of others, but their own beliefs. And of course, I talked many times over last year about how labels and past conditioning can impact negatively on us because they're impacting you and giving you their beliefs. So start sort of ditching these and saying, if I've been told all my days that I'm not very clever or I'm lazy or whatever, well, you're not. That's someone else is telling you that. Stop this and just start believing, making your own beliefs and committing yourself to your life. Now for focus. As far as focus is concerned, remember, you've got to focus on things you can control. And thanks, Debbie. Debbie's come on. Thank you for Debbie's giving me the title for next Friday. But she's also talking about her achievement board, her inspiration board. You must have that. She's got that above her desk. So put it anywhere where you can see it. But on focus, we tend to worry about things, everything. And of course, one of the difficult things is we can't control everything. So you need to let go of situations you can't control. You can't change other people. Much as you want to, you'd love to, you can only change yourself. So put your time and energy into things you can control. If you're the negative kind of person, you can control that. Change yourself to become more positive. Might not happen overnight, but the simple ABC exercises actually do help. And when you worry about things you can't control, you feel helpless. You feel powerless to take action. Why would you want to be like that? So stop focusing on things you can't control. Focus on being optimistic rather than pessimistic. And we've all got them. I've got friends whom I would say are the glass not half empty, but the glass empty. And it's very, very difficult. Martin Seligman, a psychologist, I've talked about him before, but he said that how people view setbacks is a vital part of living more positively and being resilient. It's interesting. I have we called it my parking fairy, but a parking angel or whatever. But I was trying to take a friend to hospital, and she is the glass empty. And I've got to be careful because negativity of someone can impact on you. So I'm driving along thinking, we'll get a parking place. I'll get a parking place. I have the parking place. So remember, the affirmation is your 3 Ps. You're personal, you're positive, and I'm just going to hang up on my daughter's phoning when I'm in there. I'll just decline it just now. I'll speak to her later. But one of the things is, and I said it wrongly there, you don't say, I will get a parking place. In my mind, I have the parking place. And of course, we get to the hospital and she said, you'll never get one. And I said, look, just be quiet. And in my mind, I'm going, I have a parking place. What happened? Car drove out right at the entrance in the car park and I drove in. So she said, oh, how did you do that? And I said, positive, the power of the mind. I just don't know. But these things have never failed me. So it's interesting that. So start even trying to do that. Don't let the challenges, the challenging times, what we're going through, the bad events or failures, don't let them affect everything in your life. And when you're resilient, you don't let these things affect everything you do. No matter what you go through, they will not impact on you. Don't blame yourself for everything, for every bad event. Obviously, if it's your fault, then fair enough. But if it's your fault, you take responsibility and ownership and learn the lesson. But don't blame yourself for everything. We tend to be quick to do that, or some people are. So don't do that. Find your passion and purpose. Now, I did a podcast episode on this, and you might want to go, I think you can find it under Mind Circles podcast. But finding your passion and purpose brings magic to your life. Dream, believe, desire to achieve your goals, and never let go of your vision for yourself. To endure life just now more than ever before, you need resilience. And when people that are resilient have empathy, they've got compassion, they focus on having healthy relationships with others. When you're resilient also, you don't think of yourself as a victim. You focus your time and energy on changing things you have control over. So change your mindset now. And you can do this with the ABC. And they seem so simple, but they work. They're proven psychological techniques for working, and they do work. So having a resilient mindset and a positive mindset is vital just now, and it changes your view of everything that's going on around us just now. Learn, learn, and learn. And remember, as I said before, we've all made mistakes. I mean, it's difficult. You can't go through life without making mistakes. But it's through your greatest mistakes and challenges that you gain your greatest strength. If you're a negative person, and there's lots of people around, and I think that what's difficult with the negative people is that it's not just the negativity from others, but they've got this little voice in their head and their negative self-talk. So you need to try and get rid of that. And that's what the Changing Seasons of Life, your creative journal. Journaling is really good. Writing what is known as self-journaling. This can help you to develop resilience. And I've put in the book, there's areas where you can doodle, draw, write prose, write poetry, anything creative. And there's also a page for gratitude lists for each. I called it Changing Seasons of Life because we go through different stages and we feel differently in the spring, the summer, the autumn and the winter of life. So over a year we have these seasons, and the meditation for today I'm going to do is Changing Seasons. So I hope that will kind of inspire you as well to become and increase your creativity. But when you listen to your self-talk and something goes wrong, try and just get rid of the negative self-talk. Turn it around. Change your mindset into these positive thoughts. There's some truth in the phrase, I suppose, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But you still need to remove yourself from this negativity all around. And of course, if you've got negative people around you, you need to be careful, because it's how you respond to negative or difficult people. Resilient people, when you've got resilience people respond in a different way. They choose their responses carefully. Remember, you've got choices. You have choices as to how you respond to difficult people and difficult situations. Negatively or in a panic, even when you're in that, you need to remain calm. And that's where the breathing can come in. When you do your breathing exercise, it just gives you that time out for a moment just to think and take stock of what you're going to say. And you can think rationally, more rationally and logically to find a solution. Or don't respond to angry people or anything. Take yourself away from them. Just excuse yourself and say, look, I need to, go to the ladies' room, or I need to go just take a breather at the moment, and just take yourself away from them. When you accept, on the word accept, when you accept situations as well, you move forward, and you can move forward with determination. And that's even in the most tragic situations. The loss of my son was one that I realised, and I still realise, I have to accept the situation. As much as I would love to have him back, I can't. So I need to be focused on what I can do positively and in what way I can honour him. And I honour him by being positive. And I speak to him as well. You know, a friend was having difficulty with, she'd lost her grandmother, she was very fond of and close to, and she said, I really don't know what to do. And I said, talk to her. Now, it's alien to some people, but I take comfort in that if you're able to do this. And whether that helps other people, I don't know, but it certainly helps me. So I've got to accept that. The other thing is, even not such tragic events, but don't blow things out of proportion. When you feel and you act more positively, you don't blow things out of proportion. You understand that these situations, these tragic events, these crises, they happen. And yes, it can be overwhelming, but you deal with it in what I like to call, I would say, ambitious confidence. That is confidence from the inside. So we can all appear confident outside, but you need to have that confidence inside. She'll be wondering what's happening, my daughter. She should be listening in on this, of course, and know what I'm doing. But anyway, I'll phone her shortly. So increasing your confidence is vital. And resilient people do this because they believe in themselves and have that belief from inside. So have this steely determination, this ambitious confidence. And remember, I think it was early last year, I said the words, believe, believe, believe. And it was Anthony Hopkins, I think he was giving a talk to the university, the class of 2020. And he said, believe, believe, believe. Even if you don't, just believe. And that's a bit like my ABC. People say, oh, well, they won't work. Well, you know, if you have that attitude, they won't. But you don't need to, just believe in it and just do it. So he said, when you have a strong sense of self, you have the courage and strength to move forward with confidence. And you take risks, calculated risks, to move forward. So just think about that. That could be your affirmation. Believe, believe, believe. You've also to be flexible. That's what resilience is all about. Resilient people are flexible. They understand that change happens, and they almost go as far as welcoming change. They know that even if they've made goals, they may need to amend them and change them. Nothing is really set in stone. We don't know what's going on round the corner. We don't know what's going to happen in the next minute, in the next hour. And that again is bringing us back to like mindfulness, which we did on Monday, is living in the now. So, you know, you need to be able to change your goals, sometimes even scrap them and start again. A relevant affirmation for the world just now to me is a quote by Jimi Hendrix, I think it was, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. So I think we should affirm again, my hope is for health and peace across the world. And the affirmation for you today is, I accept, focus, and have determination to endure life in a positive way. Slightly longer affirmation for you, but that fits in with today's topic. And thanks again for the title, Dave. It's, I accept, focus, and have determination to endure life in a positive way. So I'm going to do the changing seasons meditation today, and there's another, honestly I don't know how to stop this, shouldn't use my phone perhaps, another phone. So let's get down to the meditation which sets us up for the day. Remember, try and sit comfortably, not stiff, but your back straight, so you've got that confident kind of posture in the seat, your feet on the ground. And then we're going to do, I think, changing seasons of life. This is very effective when you need to face change calmly. And of course, change is happening all the time just now. So it's really very relevant for these changing times. So if you'd like to just sit comfortably and close your eyes, and we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale through the mouth. Now I want you to imagine yourself in a lovely garden. There are beautiful flowers all around. Take a moment to admire the wonderful, the glorious colours. Imagine now your favourite flower. What is your favourite flower? Imagine it. Look at the colour. Imagine the softness of the petals. Now imagine the garden in the changing seasons. Spring, nature, when everything is awakening. Buds are opening into leaves and flowers. And then you move into summer. The heat of the sun shines down on the flowers and the leaves and the trees. The flowers are opening their petals. And the flowers look up to face the sun. When the leaves start to turn colours, we're moving into autumn. And just imagine they're moving from green to golden, yellow, russet and vivid red. Now imagine winter. The ground is slightly frosted. It's got a light dusting of like a powder of snow. All is quiet. Now just take a moment to breathe in through your nose. Hold, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Breathe in again, and just imagine as you're breathing in the pure air of nature. Hold it in your mind and body, and then exhale slowly. As you exhale, you can slowly open your eyes and you can say your affirmation. I feel confident. I can focus. I am determined. And say to yourself again, I am confident. I am resilient. And I can face change calmly. Now, I hope that has helped today. I hope you've enjoyed today and that you're feeling good and it's setting you up for the day and the rest of the week. It's midweek, but today's, it's a bit, we call it dreich up here, a wee bit rainy, but then the rain is good. You know, we need to have the changing seasons. We don't want to stop nature from moving forward through the seasons. I'll be back on Friday, that's the 15th of January, and thanks to Barbara for the title. Barbara wins an hour's chat with me, but again, lovely Irish lady, so I'm sure Irish and Scots we could talk for hours. And we're going to talk about strength. So I might call it like Strong Friday or Strength Friday. Anyway, please keep your messages coming, and thank you again. It inspires and motivates me when you're all watching and listening. And thank you again. Have a fabulous day. Remember, smile. Laughter is the best medicine. Find a funny moment in every day. And I see Billy's come on. I like Billy's posts on Facebook. There's always a funny story, which I love, and I think that cheers everybody up. And virtual hugs to everyone. Thank you. Goodbye just now.